Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello, can you hear me now? Can you see my screen? Hello? Hello?
What?
Okay, can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I just want it to be much more engaging and interactive. Now, welcome to the class once again. Today we will be looking at Java syntax. And last week, day before yesterday, we talked about the internet. Have you gone through the slide? Have you gone through the video?
No, I haven't.
Try as much as possible to go on YouTube. The link is there already. So kindly go to the YouTube and try to. But in the meantime, I will try as much as possible to go over what I taught. And basically, I talked about the internet, the computer, and the basic components of computer, which I talked about the input devices, which are the receiving section of the computer. I talked about the output, which is to every program that we've written inside the computer, we are now taking it back. We are shipping it out. That is the shipping section. I also made mention of the memory, which is also known to be the is a warehouse, a warehouse section where everything that we've stored, we can make reference to them. We can actually refer back to them. Also, we have the central processing unit, which is our CPU. This is where the coordination and the activities of the computer are being conducted. And inside the CPU, we have the ALU, that is the arithmetic and logic unit. Am I communicating?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So let me just see if I can share the previous slide. Yeah, can you see this? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Now, this is introduction to computer, internet, and Java. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. So now, basically, Java is one of the powerful tools. Java is one of the powerful programming language, as we have different programming language in the world. We have English, we have Spanish, we have German, and all that. So also there are programming language. What do they do specifically? They are instructions. So computer programs are instructions that are being given to the computer for it to execute or to perform a specific task or multiple tasks. Is that clear? So
Yes.
Computer program, they are specific, they are instructions that we give to our computer to perform task. Now, we have a lot of programming language, and one of them is Java. And as you can see on my screen, I said that Java is also widely used for implementing internet-based application. And what I mean is you can use it for communication over the internet. When you use Facebook, when you use your Twitter, when you use your social media, when you use Google, they use Java programming language to write most of these applications that we know. An example of example of applications that they use Java to write, we have games, we have our smartphones, our Symbian, the Symbian phones that Nokia did before, the e-readers. So these are examples of what we use Java programming language to write. And I talked about Java version. We have three major versions of Java. We have the standard edition, we have the Java Enterprise Edition, and we have the Java Micro Edition. From their word, the standard edition, they are used to develop desktop and server applications. Why? We also have the Java Enterprise, which is used in a large scales. So if you are working with Google, that is a large distributed network, they use Java Enterprise Edition. And we also have our Micro Edition, which is used on our Android devices, our mobile phones, our television, our wristwatch. So these are the versions. These are the three versions that we have for Java. Any question? Do you have any question?
No, no.
Okay. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Now we have what is called computer hardware and computer software. The hardware of a computer, they are the physical components, they are the physical thing that we can see, the physical parts that you can see, like your monitor, which is the screen. Like this screen now, you can see the screen. It is an example of a hardware. We have the keyboard that we make use whenever we want to type. We have our mouse. These are examples of computer hardware. And we also have software.
Much lawyer.
I talked about software. I talked about computer program before, and I said that there are set of instructions that can be stored and run by the hardware. So whenever we are giving instructions, as we'll be doing in further classes, we'll be writing instructions and we'll be seeing how the computer will be executing these functions. So that is the difference between hardware and software. So software are basically set of instructions that we store and run by the hardware. Is that clear? So an example of software, we have the application software. Now, I believe that you have Android phone and you have Play Store on your Android phone. And each time you want to download any app, like you have your Bible app, you have your dictionary that you want to download and install, that they are example of software. Another example of software is your operating system, the Windows on the computer. Without the window, the computer cannot work. The computer cannot perform its task. So it is a very, very essential tool. So computer software is a set of instructions that can be stored and run by hardware. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Can I move on? Or you have any
Yes, you
questions
can.
for me? All right. Now, I talked about computer organization. Inputs. This is the receiving section. It obtains information, and logically speaking, it is just like saying you want to put something inside the computer, and the device that helps in doing such is the keyboard, is the monitor too. We have the monitor, we have the keyboard, we have the mouse. They help you to input, to receive, to obtain information. Information are the same thing as data. Wherever you see data, wherever you see computer programs. So the set of instructions that we want to input into the computer, they are known as inputs. Also, we have the output. This is the shipping section. It takes every information that we've done, it output it. It helps us to ship it out. Also, we have our memory. We have the memory. This is where we store information are being retained. So as, for example, now you can see that this is my last class that I am trying to give you a recap over. But it is so easy for me to just go back to my Microsoft PowerPoint to pick it, because the memory has helped me to store it, to save the information, to retain the information. So it is easy for me to get it back. Also, we have the arithmetic logic unit, which is the manufacturing section. The calculation, your decision making, the algorithm is being performed here. Decision mechanism is being performed here. If you want to perform multiple tasks, it helps you to perform multiple operations. So we have a computer that is called a supercomputer. It can, in a second, it can perform a quadrillions of operation per second. It is a very, very fast computer that we have now. So it helps us to process a whole lot of information, a whole lot of data in seconds. And lastly, we have the central processing unit. It is the administrative section. It functions like our brain that coordinates and supervise the section, the operation of other section. The other section that I've talked about, which is the input, the output, the memory, the arithmetic logic unit. It is the central processing unit, which serves as the administrative unit that ensure that it coordinates and supervise the operation of other sections. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Now, we have the secondary storage unit. You know, the first one, the memory, it can retain a very little. Its capacity is limited. But the secondary storage has a long-term high capacity. And an example of a secondary storage unit is our SSD, which is known as a solid state drive. We also have our hard drives. We have our USB flash drive. You know, we have flash drive of like 2 terabytes. We have flash drive. They are example of storage units. Also, I talked briefly about the data hierarchy, and I talked about data, which is known to be information. Don't forget, data is the same thing as information that we process inside the computer. And this data, they have their hierarchy. So I will start from the list, which is the bits. The bits are 0 and 1. One thing I want you to understand is that the computer, as you and I am speaking to you in English, and you are understanding, you are comprehending what I'm saying, but the computer do not understand English. So to every instructions, to every computer programs that we input inside the computer, they convert, they are being converted to 0 and 1, which we call them binary, zeros and ones. So they are known to be machine language. Is that clear? Hello? Hello, are you there? So they are known to be machine language. Also, we have the field. They are composed of characters. They are composed of character or bits. We also have the record. Record, for example, as you are now, you have your name. Every student in this class have name, have age, have their matric number, so have their state of origin. This is the combination of several fields is known as record. We also have files. We have files. On our computer, we have different files. If I go from here and click on my browser, We have a whole lot of files that I can be sharing on. These are files. These are folder. In each folder, we can see files. In each folder, let me open one so that we can see. Okay. These are folders. These are folders. In each folder, we have file. This is an example of file. This is an example of file. So in a folder, we have files. Is that clear? So this is an example of file too, where I'm pointing my cursor to. Thank you. Now let's go over to today's class. Now today, we'll be focusing holistically at Java syntax. Like I said earlier on, Java is one of the most popular languages that exist in the world. And the syntax of Java refers to the set of rules defining how Java program is written and interpreted. It will interest you that every language has the way it is written, has their own modalities. So also is this Java programming language. We have diverse programming language, and one of them is Python. Another one is C#. Another one is C. We have the JavaScript. We have different and diverse programming language. And the syntax, each language has its specific syntax. The syntax of Java, I will be taking us step by step to all this syntax. Now looking at my red colored words here, you'll be wondering, like, what is this? Now, this public is in small letter. This public means this public is written in small letter. This is access modifier. My access modifier is public. That means everybody can access it. This access modifier can be, there are three. We have the public, we have the private, and we have the protected. From the word private, that means it has limitation, it has restriction. Unlike this public, that it is everybody can have access to it. And don't forget that in every code, every line of code, if you look at my line 3 here, it ends with semicolon. So every code you'll be writing in Java, they must always end with semicolon. It is very, very important. And this main, it is the name of this class. This is how we declare a method and a class. This is a method inside it, and system out.println, it is what we output. This is telling it that wherever we see this, means these must execute. This line 2 must execute. I will come back briefly to it, and I will explain more on it as we go ahead. Now, every line that runs in Java must be in a class. Every line that runs in Java must be in a class. In the above example, we have a class called main. Now, let me show us again. This is a class, and the name of the class is main. The first letter must be in capital letter. The first letter of my class name must be in capital letter. So every of our code must always and will always be inside our class. In the above example, we have a class called main. A class must always start with uppercase letter. As you can see from here, we have M. My M here is starting with capital letter. The class must always start with a capital letter. That is how we denote that this is a class and not a method. A method is always written, it starts from the small letter. But for a class, we start a class in capital letter. Let's proceed. Now, Java is case sensitive. What do I mean by case sensitive? All I'm saying as a case sensitive here is that the name